Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far, and with some discussions about gentlemen's agreements beginning to rage before the season even begun. Crimsix and Censor are playing in an 8s tournament last night. Crimsix gets the better of Doug a couple of times. Definitely has some trash talk to throw his way. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, hitting that like button is the best thing you could do. Tell this channel reach new people, but please also consider subscribing if you have not yet already. Firstly, this from the flank thought it was kind of interesting really. Slide cancelling is in Fortnite. I haven't played Fortnite in ages. I remember back in like the golden days of Season 2, Season 3. It was actually a fun game. I have no idea what's going on nowadays, but I mean, I'm seeing people aim down sights with the red dot sights. I'm seeing this guy slide cancel. Like, what is this about? But as the flanks say, Bloom, ADS, destructible walls, and now slide cancelling. Activision, they're letting people play Vanguard for free, right? So that's kind of the thing. Like, this game, in a way, is kind of similar, really, to what Fortnite is right now, which maybe some people are going to like, some people aren't going to like. The competitive scene generally seems to be anti some of this stuff, but I guess we will see on this front. This also, I thought, was great from the Minnesota Rokkr, like, especially because a lot of people would say right now, and understandably so, that the challengers kind of hierarchy in the scene, or at least the challengers path to pro, is not really where it needs to be. Pioneers, for example, pretty much one of the only organizations in Call of Duty Challengers, came out and dropped their roster with Doug Censor on just a few days ago, because they just don't see like a return on this, right? Which is understandable. Now, there is college Call of Duty, which has been going on. There's also this from the Minnesota Rokkr. They have a varsity league where they have a high school team competing, which I just thought was awesome. Like, yes, okay, they're still playing Cold War, but, you know, maybe Vanguard will come relatively soon. But personally, I thought this was really cool, right? This is the type of stuff, like high school Call of Duty, we're just gonna, you know, kickstart that path to pro, right? And hopefully, the guys at Minnesota who are dealing with this type of stuff are talking to the CDL and saying, look, this is how we think that maybe we should structure the path to pro in the future. Because this is the type of stuff that actually creates a healthy ecosystem after the big personalities retire and move on from Call of Duty. And right now, it doesn't really seem like we have the clear step up from challengers to pro play, like maybe we should have in a proper professional league. So, you know, definitely I thought this is a good step in the right direction. Wanted to mention this also then on kind of the gentleman's agreement side, because right now on CMG and some other sites, a lot of the pistols are being banned. So like the Rat and some of the two-shot pistols, they're disappearing. But, you know, I think pretty sure the machine pistol that he's got out right here, this is still allowed. Now, the problem is with the machine pistol is it's pretty terrible in comparison to what he calls the two-bullet murder machine, as in the MP40. So I do wonder what the future is here for the MP40 in the game, because of course this is a pretty nice clip. Now, you know, generally SMGs never get gentlemen's agreemented. Pretty much, like, this is the way it tends to go, is that SMGs, like, they are what they are, and that the pros just use the best one. It's the ARs that tend to get GA'd from time to time. But I suppose that we shall see in this front. I think the MP40 probably will stay, but I mean, look, like, he absolutely melted it. It's pretty ridiculous. This is what Slasher has to say on the matter. So Tiny's asking, okay, SMLE or Carver for the MP40, like, what attachment should I use? And Slasher's like, it doesn't matter, it's an MP40. It's going to kill in 3 bullets anyway, just shoot the guy, right? So that is kind of the question, is the MP40 going to last? I was wondering in this game whether the PPSH was going to be an option, right? Because a lot of people talked about that back to a World War II type game, like at Kenny on the PPSH, so that was kind of a thing in the original World War II. Maybe that's something that could happen. Of course, look, patch updates and changes are, I'm sure, going to come down the line as well, and that probably is going to, well, lead to a situation where maybe the MP40 isn't the dominant force that it was. Right at the start, I always remember like Black Ops 2, right at the start, right, when the PDW was just a monster, and then, you know, they nerfed that a bit, the MSMC became the dominant weapon, but the MP7 was also viable. Like, hopefully we find a situation like that, but usually it's just like a one SMG game the entire year, to be honest. But Slasher's maybe saying, look, the MP40 could be a bit too strong, but Tiny's like, you know, bro, chill, ARs are blessed this year, like always, right, which is generally the opinion, it seems, from most of the SMG players. This is what Doug Censor has to say yesterday. The goal for myself in Call of Duty this year is obviously to win in challenges, get in the league, and win my world championship. I like the my right here, to be honest. Like, he already knows that he owns it. I know what it takes. Gonna have to set higher expectations, sacrifice, and new limits must be set on a personal level. I'm built for this. Gonna be really tough to achieve without expansion to get back in the league, because of course that's step one. If you want to win the world championship, is actually be in the league and have a chance. But I mean, you know, without expansion coming in this season, it's going to be tough for Doug. There was potentially some chances last year for him to get on a team. It's going to be difficult for him to happen though. Thought this is kind of crazy as well, just from Hastro. Found you two at Censor, like whatever he was doing right here, this super old school stuff. Like, Censor must have been like only like 16 or something here. Like, this is so long ago, because Censor says like the trip is the reason I began working out. Amazing times, Mike. So yeah, definitely some old school images coming out and hitting the timeline. But yesterday they were actually playing each other, Crimsix and Censor, in this kind of like, you know, Pro 8s type thing that was going on there. A load of guys involved, and then there's a few entertaining clips I'll share for you guys right now. First of all, I think it might be on Berlin or whatever the case was. There was one clip at least on Berlin. There were some other ones as well, where Crimsix basically destroys Doug Censor and says, like, get back in the gym, Doug, you're not good enough. And then also towards the end, seems like, Censor might have actually rage quit quit after having a pretty difficult time up against Crimsix's squad.
One's mid broken. I got Standy. Mid statue. Doug, you suck balls. Get your ass back in the gym, you pussy. I spawn post. I'm nading hell. Yo, mid post. He's post side. One shot post. Oh, yo, I got him. They're going right. They're going right to train. Right to train. One shot, dead.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah, good spawn on that P2. Well played.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Nice job, guys.
This might be a fierce team.
Yeah, I don't know if we actually might have to tweet out champs after
Dude,
this.
did we just make Doug rage quit, bro? Like, I think we did.
Facts, babe, because I only head glitch. That's the only reason I'm good, babe.
Let's go, Caesar.
Thought this is kind of funny between the two of them as well. Just played Pro 8 with Crimsix, and he kept on telling me he can bench press more than me. And when I went downstairs, this is on my doorstep, you trying to tell me something, bro. So kind of bro-bantic really between the two of them. But yeah, that's the thing with Doug Censor Martin. What are his options going forwards? Because he did a number of tweets really that came out after this, and like talking about, he wants to get back in the league, and he's going to try his best. It's going to be difficult with expansion, but that's his goal, right? It is pretty tough to see that happening in a realistic world, though, because at the end of the day, last year on Seattle, it might have been the best chance, right? Because Seattle needed a player, they got rid of Looney, they needed someone to come in, they kind of needed like a relatively selfless SMG player to come into their roster, right, to make that work. Now, Doug could have been that guy. Instead, they got Decimate into the team, then Decimate, of course, there was all the drama that Decimate just left the squad and didn't want any part of it going forwards, and if anything, it seems to have actually kind of worked out for Decimate because he's got this spot once again on Paris Legion this year. But that's kind of one of the questions, like, if Doug didn't get the opportunity there, and there were some people hinting that they were talking to Doug and going to make that opportunity happen, but it didn't happen in the end. This year, of course, other teams that will be making changes, but it's just tough to see that Censor gets an opportunity that isn't an opportunity that comes in from a team saying, okay, we're going to build around Doug going forwards. Because I can see a world in which when expansion comes through for 16 teams, a squad says, look, let's bring Doug in as kind of our talisman guy, our big name guy, but also could be a relatively solid player in certain situations. At least he's a player that's going to be selfless in an SMG role and play the objective and these types of things. And then let's just say, okay, Doug, like, which guys have you played with in challenges you think could be an absolute force? Bring in a couple of amateur guys and then maybe one other veteran or something, and that could be a pretty good idea, really, if you're a squad that's coming in with not the most incredible budget in the world. If you're a new team in the league, you want to make a name for yourself, this type of stuff. But I just don't really think it's going to work in a 12-team environment. Certainly, you guys can leave your thoughts on that down in the comment section below. Wanted to mention this also from Simp. I won with the Bocage, he says, and that's kind of the thing right now. We do wonder just on this kind of gentleman's agreement topic, because last year, Crossroads, in relatively early part of the season, I think it was played in stage 1, wasn't it? But after that, it basically got gentleman's agreemented out of the game, because they kept trying to change around where the hills were, like P5 or whatever, or P4, like whatever the final hill was. They kept moving around where it was on the map on Crossroads, and then the pros basically decided, okay, this map, we're not really having it, let's just get rid of it. They weren't really too happy with that in the game, and they decided to effectively gentleman's agreement the entire map. Whether that happens with Bocage, I don't know, but some pros, I imagine, maybe are getting used to it, right, because it is the mixiest map in the game, the engagement numbers are out of control, and Sim says, he's won with it, he's getting ready to go. Clayster also seems to be down. Brother, I've become an automaton menace on that map. Good lord, it's the mixiest of all mixes. So yeah, Clayster pretty excited to keep going really with that map in the game right now. Of course, if other maps do arrive, will that be the case anymore? It's tough to say, but I mean, yeah, maybe pros want to get rid of this one, but still, maybe their mind will change over time as well, because there was some talk actually, like during the latter half of last season, of bringing back Crossroads instead of Apocalypse or whatever that map was called, because some people didn't like Apocalypse, but towards the end, people realized it was actually quite good for hardpoint. But there's also that. This also, just because, speaking of Clayster, unintended line of sight has always kind of been one of the topics of the day when Clayster is being discussed, and this one I thought was quite interesting. Looking good over there at Arcitys, aBeZy says. There's a strange spot here on this is on Tuscan, I guess, where you can somehow get on top of this fence, and he really does blend in quite well here. Of course, it's quite a niche spot if you were to get in, like just to hold off this angle, but to be fair, you'd probably be guaranteed at least one free kill from it if someone was walking in this vicinity. So, Arcitys points out right here that you can actually get get up into this spot, spin around for whatever reason. Not exactly sure how you get there. I guess the FaZe guys are trying their best to find out different spots. Maybe this is something that Cellium discovered, I don't really know. But it's definitely a weird one. Like, I guess you can get on top of this plant right here and just hold down this angle. I guess for certain hardpoints, let's say you're setting up for the P1 rotation once again, like maybe this could be a reasonable spot. It's interesting to say. But, you know, just some more things these FaZe guys seem to be discovering right now. And, well, we can imagine that if this stuff isn't officially banned, or at least if it's not frowned on by some of the players, because there were some spots last year, for example, on Checkmate, Search and Destroy, where, like, you could kind of go on the outside of the plane, like there was kind of like an invisible ledge there that you could walk on the outside of the plane, that the pros decided, okay, maybe let's not use that, even though you could do it in the game. Like, it was kind of GA to actually use that spot, and considered unsportsmanlike behavior. Maybe this will be something similar. It's tough to say. This also, like, I don't know too much about American football. I think a lot of people would say this is a relatively hot take, though, from Vivid here. Aaron Rodgers being the best quarterback of all time. Thought this was kind of just funny from Tuna. That's like saying Slasher is the best Call of Duty player of all time. But Clayster initially replied to this tweet saying, yes, that's a hot take. No, that's just actual fact. So yeah, maybe Slasher is top one after all. And this also from Arcitys, just because, well, they seem to be playing a fair bit of Tuscan lately. Nero, well, he's got some beamers on him, certainly, up against the Automaton. No chance Arcitys stood in this particular position, but very much intrigued to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit that like button. Tell us the YouTube gods this is a good video, and I was like, you should enjoy it as well. And I've grown the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you for watching as always. Take care, and I will see you next time.